Hey everyone, it is Saturday, November 6th. The time right now is 3:34 p.m. and the temperature is around 11 degrees Celsius. And I'm here just in front of Sherway Gardens. And I just recorded a walk through this mall. And before that, I recorded a live stream that started in Port Credit in the city of Mississauga. And I eventually made my way over to this mall. And now I'm about to go for a drive back into the city. So this would be the west end of Toronto. And somewhere over here is where I parked. So I'll locate the car, hop in it, set up the camera, and then we'll go for a spin. Okay, so that took me a little longer than I thought it would to get this camera set up. But I think we're all good and ready to go here. In previous driving videos, I've used an action camera to record things, but for this one, I'm going with the DJI Pocket 2, which I have mounted to the windshield here. Looks like there's some traffic to contend with just getting out of the parking lot here. This is always a good way to start your driving videos off. Coast is clear. So I'll make a left here and then a right onto the Queensway. And I'll try to find my way up, or rather down, to the Gardiner Expressway. I think in total it'll be about 23, 24 kilometers just to get to the city center. So that is, of course, Sherway Gardens Mall on the right. And this has been a pretty busy day for me so far. It is my birthday. So I woke up and got this rental car. I drove down to Port Credit. Did that live stream that was mostly walking, but then I mounted my iPhone to the windshield here and I streamed my drive over to this mall, and then I just recorded a quick walk around the mall. Shopping mall videos tend to do well. People like to see them, so I thought, why not? And now I'm making a video heading back downtown. So this is east on the Queensway. And I think I might want to be in this leftmost lane here. Good old suburban traffic. So this area isn't particularly well connected by transit. I say that as a couple of TTC buses are coming this way. That is the 123 Sherway. I think that might be the only Toronto Transit bus that makes its way over to Sherway Mall. So the highway I want to get to is on the right. That's the Gardiner Expressway. But I think to get there, I need to turn left here. It's been a while since I've driven around this area. And I've never used this camera to record a driving video before, not even a test. I put the wide-angle lens on it, so hopefully that makes it a bit better. Since it is on a gimbal, it'll kind of take the turns in more of a slow pan versus how the action cameras would do it. There's a large plaza just on the left with a Home Depot, and there's a Best Buy and a Walmart. And this here is the 427, and that heads north up to the airport and then beyond. So I want to merge over here. There's a car right behind me. Gardiner Expressway, keep right. So just to the south of here is the Long Branch neighborhood. And that sits on the very southwest edge of Toronto, in the former borough of Etobicoke. Got something rattling around in the cockpit. See if I can fix that. I have done one Gardiner Expressway video where I headed east. Oh well, it'll be interesting to see how the different cameras performed. This highway is in the control of the City of Toronto, not the province of Ontario. So you'll see the Toronto Police on it rather than the Ontario Provincial Police, who handle the 400 series highways. There's an IKEA just on the left. And I think for the most part the limit is 90 rather than 100 kilometers per hour, of course. So I have someone to pick up at 4:30. And then I have a dinner reservation at my favorite restaurant in the entire world at 6 p.m. That's Barbarian Steakhouse. I haven't told anyone where I was going yet, but since this video will come up after the fact and there'll probably be an Instagram post by then, why not? I'm just realizing my throat is a little dry. I've been on the go all day and I haven't even had a drink yet. And I have nothing in my bag. There's the movie theater on the left. I talked a bit about in my video right at the start at Sherway Mall how there used to be a Cineplex just on the north side of the street from the mall, and that theater was demolished when this one opened up. Or not demolished, it was closed down. It was repurposed into a number of different stores. And as a kid, this was one of my favorite drives to make. I always tried to sit in the front seat if my parents would let me, as you always had a spectacular view of the skyline. Although in recent years, that's been obscured by all these new condos popping up. Almost all the ones just to the right here are fairly new. Those are all in Mimico around Humber Bay. And speed-wise, we're going about 50 kilometers per hour right now. And it says 17 minutes until we get to Yonge Street. Isn't this fun? Let's go for a drive while we sit in traffic. Great video, Johnny. I did try to plan my previous driving videos so things would be moving a bit better. I guess this is the Saturday evening rush into the city we're experiencing. You could take Lakeshore Boulevard as an alternative to the Gardiner here. And just up ahead is where the legendary Gardiner bumps used to be. That was a few bumps in the highway that when you're in a school bus as a kid, we all kind of cheered the driver to step on it a little bit and take it extra hard, and it would send you flying out of your seats. And I think at some point there was actually a deadly crash as someone in a sports car hit them a little too fast. And they finally repaired it. Now on the right, those two large tall condos are the Palace Pier and Palace Place. The one nearest the highway is the original. That's the Palace Pier. Palace Place was built well after the fact, but they tried to match the original one in terms of its design. Although I think the newer one doesn't have balconies in the corner. And if you're wondering, this is a Toyota Camry. I'm not sure of the year. It can't be more than a year or two old. It looks quite nice. It's got 14,900 kilometers on it. It was expensive though. The pandemic has hit the rental car business quite hard. They've had to consolidate and close down a lot of the locations and reduce their fleets. And the prices shot up. I think they're just trying to hang on by a thread and hope that that original rental market returns. During weekdays, there's a lot less business travel going on. So there's a lot less demand for rental cars. And there was a huge demand for used cars during the pandemic. And I think they cashed out a lot of their fleets. So even though with a discount through my credit card, this worked out to about 180 Canadian for just 2 days. Although I don't pay for the extra insurance, the physical damage, because that's covered through my credit card. Here's a new condo going up, and there's some lovely balconies overlooking the highway. Not sure I'd find that all too relaxing. Although I am a huge fan of balconies. It's one thing I noticed about New York City. A lot of their newer condos and apartments didn't have balconies. I'm not sure why exactly that is. That might be a neat rabbit hole to go down. And we're at Ellis Avenue, which means on the left is High Park. Not that you get a particularly great view of it. And just to the right, of course, is Lake Ontario. There's St. Joe's Hospital straight ahead. So that signifies the beginning of the Parkdale neighborhood. Parkdale to the east of it, Roncesvalles just to the north. This is the type of video that if I were watching on YouTube, I'd probably ratchet up to 2 times speed. Get a bit of that chipmunk voice going on. It's one of the reasons why I tend to walk a little faster on my videos. I'm more of a point A to point B kind of person. I love exploring cities and looking around, but I usually don't stop to smell the roses all too often. So a slow-paced driving video Probably wouldn't be up my alley, but you never know. I haven't really given it a try. I just assume I wouldn't. Kind of like sushi. I went through my whole life because I can't stand fish, assuming I would hate sushi, but at some point in my 20s, I had a date who said, let's go for sushi, and without thinking, I said yes. I wasn't in any position to be calling the shots. And the rest is history. I actually kind of loved it. And that was a place called Bikuri on King Street East, just east of King and Yonge. I lived in the St. Lawrence neighborhood at the time, so it wasn't exactly a long way to go. How the heck did I end up telling a story about sushi on a driving video? And coming up on the right is Exhibition Place. That's where you'll find BMO Field, home to the Toronto Argonauts of the Canadian Football League, and the Toronto FC of Major League Soccer, formerly Exhibition Stadium, was in that spot or very near to it. That's where the Blue Jays had their first pitch back in 1977. And ironically, the first ever MLB game in Canada had snow. Okay, I've got 22 minutes. I was thinking about maybe going up Yonge and taking in that particular street, but I might have to call an audible and change my plans. It does seem like the left lane is moving a little faster. It's one of those things, whenever you move over, you find yourself stopped, looking at the lane you just came from, go racing by. There's Medieval Times straight ahead in the former Better Living Center. And this used to be a goosebumps-inducing view of the skyline, but there's so many new towers in the way blocking it. Towers of Liberty Village just to the left, and City Place beyond that, obscuring the once amazing view of the financial district. But there is a neat canyon effect as you get into downtown on the Gardiner here. And that did not used to exist. As just south of the Gardiner, which is on the right, the South Core District has popped up. Here's BMO Field. I'm not sure if the camera picked that up. Chinatown, next exit. That's random. Could have put a million things on that sign. So we could get to Eglinton in 17 minutes via the Don Valley Parkway. So this is just one of two highways that cuts east-west across the city. This one on the south end, and the 401, which is North America's busiest freeway, is on the north side of the city. And we're into the downtown core. I enjoy this view, but in recent years I like it coming in the other direction a little more. So this is York, Bay Street, and Yonge Street here. I'm going to opt for the Jarvis Street exit. There used to be a York Street off-ramp. They've taken that down in recent years. And just on the left is the Scotiabank Arena, and just north of that is Union Station. And minimum fine, $615 for distracted driving. And I can assure you, that does not get handed out nearly enough. The amount of times I'm riding my e-bike around the city, and I see a dummy with their phone in their hands, happens at least a dozen times every half hour or so. All you gotta do is look into cars randomly and you will see drivers using their phone. So Jarvis Street is on the east side of downtown. I have done drives up and down Yonge Street before. So let's make a left here. Looks like there's an advanced green. I don't think I will make it though. Let's see. So just on the left is Lakeshore, running underneath the Gardiner. Oh, there's a chance. There's a chance. And we made it. Sweet. So the St. Lawrence Market is coming up just on the left here. I did a walk about 3 weeks ago, I think, where I called Jarvis ugly. And I kind of stand by that sentiment. And here is Front Street East. There's the new St. Lawrence Market North building going up just on the left there. And it's King Street East. Someone's bass is a little heavy in that Jaguar next to me. I don't know if the microphone's picking that up. And this is Adelaide Street. It's a one-way street heading east, and just north of here is Richmond, a one-way street heading west. And fortunately, that car could just clear the intersection there. And I am getting hungry. I could use a steak and a drink, but not till I've gotten rid of the car, of course. Here's Queen Street East. And Shooter Street. I did a walk along here not too long ago. Oh, this car is signaling left. There might be some construction blocking this lane up ahead. Let's see. Oh, we're in a right turn lane. I will just turn right then. And just on the right is Moss Park. And here is Shooter and Sherburne Street. And we're at Parliament. I'll go left here. I'm only going to go north a few blocks. And it's Dundas Street East. I don't want to be in the right lane as there's a bunch of street parking just north of Dundas. And the neighborhood on the right is Regent Park. I'll be turning right here onto Girard. So on the right, Regent Park. On the left, Cabbagetown. See if I can fish my other camera out. There we go. So I'll be ending this video just up ahead. I gotta pull over and make a phone call just to let someone know I'm very close. I hope you enjoyed this not super interesting drive, starting at Sherway Mall in the very west end of the city in Etobicoke. Driving east along the Gardiner Expressway to the Jarvis on-ramp, or off-ramp, to be more specific, and then snaking my way through the east end of downtown to where we are now. Hopefully this new camera setup worked for driving. If it does, then I can ditch the idea of using the action cameras. My only concern is how it handles the turns, because that part's going to be quite different. So here is River Street. Now we're about to cross the Don River and leave downtown. As this sign bumps us around the sign, that's all it really did. That wasn't pointless. And if you wish to support the channel, there are links to my Patreon and YouTube channel membership in the description. I also have an Instagram account, and there's a link to PayPal as well. I'm going to pull into this parking lot here. These gates signify the entrance to East Chinatown. I think I ended an e-bike stream or a video here once. I'm going to switch over to the other camera. And there's a look at the camera setup. So I've just got the Pocket 2 mounted there with the wide angle lens on it. And this will be the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts and comments in the comment section. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you on the next one.